Hello, welcome to Valerian Bay. I'm Suzanne and I'm so pleased you're here today, especially because this is a really big subject that can be really hurtful and cause you quite a bit of stress inside. So stay tuned through this video because we're going to have a look at if you have been ghosted, just to understand a bit more about that, and then we'll talk about how we could start to make you feel better. Because it can be quite a traumatic experience depending on your past and what it can potentially trigger, and just for the fact that somebody you love and care about has disappeared. So first of all then, ghosting is an activity where somebody that you are in a relationship with suddenly disappears, and they don't respond to your text messages and they don't respond to your phone calls and you don't see them. Now this can happen at any age and no matter what length of time you've been in a relationship with somebody for. I'd always kind of made the assumption it was a little bit around teenagers, maybe people are nervous to say that they're breaking up and too scared to actually engage in conversation about what's happened. But it's not. It can happen at any age, and I've known quite a lot of people now at different ages where it has happened to them. So it tends to be a representation of an immature emotional style from the person who is doing the ghosting. But for you, as the recipient of this behaviour, it can be super stressful. If you've got complex trauma in your background, if you've got abandonment issues, if you've got any sort of control issues at all, to suddenly be left in this fashion can create such panic and almost terror within you. It can really bring some extreme emotions to the surface. And that's what we want to look at clearing today, because nobody deserves to be in that situation. Now, whoever has actually done the ghosting itself, we need to let go of our connection to them for the moment, just for now, because to put you in the correct state where you feel better and feel more yourself, which is what we always want, we need to put you first, and we need to allow you to take control of what you can control in your life. So the first thing to do is to bring back your energy. So at the minute, if you're in a position where you've been ghosted, all your thoughts will be going towards that person constantly. Are they all right? Are we broken up? Have we broken up? What's happening with them? Did I do something wrong? You'll feel confused. You'll feel like you're in a complete state of limbo. Do I make plans with my life, or are they going to come back? I've got no closure. I don't know what's happened. It's just so stressful. So take a few deep breaths. Just start to relax back into your body. The panic can literally make it seem like your energy is leaving your body, because it creates a huge amount of anxiety in us. So just breathe, take nice deep breaths, and that will connect you back into your physical body so that you can get nice and grounded, bring your energy in. And what I want you to consider now is, if a friend was going through this, how would you treat them? So observe yourself as if you are your own best friend, because you really need to put yourself first in this situation. And we're going to start to talk about detaching from the other person just for now, until you get more information. So if you haven't heard from them in a few days, in a few weeks, start to make plans with the gaps that are now in your life, because that's one of the biggest problems. You've got these big gaps that they would have filled with their time and space by being together. Start to plan things in so that those gaps aren't so obvious to you so that you haven't, because it's in those gaps that you'll start to fret and worry and to notice that they're not there. The next thing that you can do is to recognise that if they have actually taken this behaviour towards you, then they are either emotionally immature, they potentially don't care about you as much as they care about themselves. It could be an act of passive aggression towards you if they're cross about something. But basically the way they have behaved is not okay for you. Now, you may be distressed and thinking, but the person that you believe them to be is what you want and love, and that's the experience you want in your life. If they've behaved in this way, then there's an element of dishonesty. They have not been honest with you about who they are or what they want. So recognize the dream of what you thought they were isn't necessarily the case. You start to detach from this situation in that way. Start to recognize that what you thought this was may not be the case. And then we need to start looking at energetically detaching from them. So just take some nice deep breaths again. Imagine that all your energy is coming back into your body. Now, this will have been quite a trauma, so you can take rescue bark remedy, which will help to deal with the shock. But do treat yourself as if you've had a shock. Be kind to yourself. Be very gentle with yourself. And we're going to imagine that there is a cord or many cords, like threads of energy between you and this other person, and I just want you to imagine cutting those so that you detach from that person, knowing that they aren't necessarily everything that you thought they were. So in the essence of looking after yourself, start to detach from those people, that person, by cutting those cords. And maybe imagine putting up a mirror in front of you so that they're separate from you, and turn the love that you had for them in towards yourself, and take care of yourself and feel that love for you, knowing that if you were your own best friend, you would take true care of yourself and wrap yourself up and treat yourself really, really nicely. If they do come back into your world, obviously it's up to you whether you speak to them again, but just be conscious that anybody who's willing to disregard you, no matter what their reasons are, unless there's some sort of force majeure reason where something has happened that's completely out of their hands and they haven't been able to get to a phone to speak to you, then behaviour like this is completely unacceptable. I am a life coach and a therapist. If you need to work on self-love, abandonment issues, anything around what we've discussed today, you can contact me via my website www.valerianbay.co.uk. Just pop onto the Get in Touch page and fill in the contacts form. We can have a free conversation to see how we can work together going forward. Lots of love to you. Take care, look after yourself, be kind to yourself and look after yourself. Bye bye.